This is huge news, and it makes me so pumped. The mortgage-backed security crisis is now here. We've talked about commercial mortgage-backed securities for 2 years. We've seen that crash come through. Now, mortgage-backed securities are collapsing. Get ready. You're not going to see it in the prices just yet. I'm going to explain to you. There is investigations going on, people leaving high positions of power. It is happening right now, and you're going to see it explode in 2024. A good friend of mine, Jack at Nobody Special Finance, called me, or maybe I called him, I don't remember, and we were talking about the markets, and he brought up Meridian Capital, and I said, I got to go look into this, and this is epic. I'm going to bring you 2 stories that show you there is smoke, and we know where there's smoke, there's fire. It is happening right now. If you are not preparing for the most epic real estate crash that will make, I believe, honestly, on a percentage basis, the Great Recession, the Great Financial Crisis, the housing, the real estate crash of 2008 will look like child's play. But it will look like child's play. It will be that much worse because so many more people have bought into the rhetoric, have drank the Kool-Aid that real estate's never going down. They believe Janet Yellen in 2017, where she said, we'll never see another banking crisis like we did in 2008 in my lifetime. She's already been completely wrong. They've drank the Kool-Aid. If you are not preparing for this right now, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to learn how to prepare for it, I'm the only one teaching about real estate cycles on the internet. There's 80% off links down below. I will have a special offer for everyone that has the course by the end of the year. And I will tell you this, as of January 1st, these courses will never be this cheap again. And I'm not joking, because the entire evolution of this instruction going into the crash will be totally different, and it will be at a different price point. Okay? So those links are down below. Check this out. This is the first news story. This is super exciting. Freddie Mac halts deal making for Meridian Capital and launches a probe. Now, I want you to understand something. One of the evolutions during a real estate cycle is that there's so many different aspects of a real estate cycle that, and don't worry, the sun comes out tomorrow, okay? People were totally destroyed in 2008 to 2012. When I had sold all my homes in 2006 and warned about that crash, they thought the end was, it was never coming back, all right? And then we saw this massive boom, all right? The federal government, the Fed, central banks around the world know how this works. Very few people in this country know how these real estate cycles work. And they're all going to buy into it again as it crashes. And I want you prepared to buy these houses. When Freddie Mac stops doing business with a bank, it's a big deal. Because banks know that lending houses want to do business with Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae. Why? Because that's the government security portion of mortgages, right? When they have these government conforming loans, they've got insurance. They go do deals. They sell their paper. Banks go out and they go make them. I'm going to make this really simple, just super simple. They go out. We get a little more in depth in the course. They go out and make a loan. They loan money to somebody in the form of a mortgage. If they do it under certain guidelines and all of their documents are filled out properly, they can take that paper, that debt now, and sell it to the government in the form of selling it to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, all right? When they do this, it's very profitable for them to do this. Everybody loves to do money with deals with the government, right? They get to charge exorbitant rates, and they get the freedom of just pretty much doing whatever they want. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a certain point where that breaks because banks fall out of those guidelines. And just, the government knows they do this. They know it for years and years. They just let it happen because everyone's getting paid off. And then these fractures happen in the industry. And then all of a sudden, it gets so big because of whistleblowers, then all of a sudden, we got to do something. We need to launch an investigation, even though that's not what Fannie and Freddie want to do. But Fannie and Freddie were running outside and buying up loans of paper that were not rated well, for lack of better terms, in 2006, 2007. And that all started to come out. And then as that came out, like today, I was the first one to ever talk about commercial mortgage-backed securities. I'm only saying this not to brag, but it's important people understand this because nobody believed it could happen. Now it's obvious. Like Kevin O'Leary's even coming on and going, oh yeah, everyone saw this. No, you didn't, because you didn't talk about it. Now it's obvious that industry is imploding. Well, now, and I said, it's going to flow into mortgage-backed securities. All right? When that happens and Fannie stops doing business with a bank, they obviously lose employees and they have to lay off people or go bankrupt, right? Close their doors. And what happens is their lending standards get super tight. And that's very important to know in a real estate cycle. When they get super tight, people don't have access to capital. That's happened before in the past. And what happens is all of a sudden, nobody's around to buy. And there's news stories right now where cash offers, all cash offers are at an all-time high in this last September. I want you to understand this. There is, not many people know this. There's a loan product out there that a handful of banks do where they pre-approve buyers to a certain dollar amount. And they do all their documents and get all the loan docs signed. And they say, okay, you are pre-approved for this loan. We are going to go give it to you right now. We're going to actually take the money and deposit it in your bank account. Here it is. Let's say you're pre-approved for $800,000. We're going to pre-approve you $800,000. Now, as the way the loan docs go, not many people understand how this is done. They go, you can make an all-cash offer now because you have the cash in your bank. And as soon as the cash offer is accepted, we get the offer in. When the home closes, we get the difference back. Like, let's say you offer, you have $800,000 in your bank account and you spend $750 of it. The $50,000 comes back, and then we everything starts. The mortgage payments start, right? Most people don't understand that many cash offers in our country are that it's a total Ponzi scheme. It's all going to come out in 2024. I say this because what's happening right now with Freddie Mac is a big deal. Sorry, I digress a little bit, but I want to explain, give you a little backstory to how big this story is, all right? Also, if you don't mind doing this is the Real Estate Ninja. It's about to be rebranded because I'm about to do some crazy experiments with the other channel, and it could get that channel really in trouble, but I've got to keep sharing the truth. Please hit the subscribe button over here and the bell icon, and thank you to everyone that hits the thumbs up, all right? There's going to be a lot of changes in 2024, especially with this channel. Freddie Mac halts deal making for Meridian Capital, launches probe. Freddie Mac has put Meridian Capital Group under the microscope after a loan brokered on behalf of the government-sponsored entity was called into question. It's not just one loan. Okay, they make it look like it's nothing. Meridian has been barred from placing deals through lenders that are Freddie Mac seller servicers while the investigation is underway. And the Ralph Herzaka-owned firm has placed one broker on leave while it cooperates with the probe. A source familiar with the suspension said that Freddie Mac raised questions about certain loan information in originations tied to the broker in question. Freddie Mac notified, and just so you know, these big crashes, these big investigations always start with just one person, one broker, and one company. But what happens is, as it unfolds, more whistleblowers come out, more information is untold, it's a lot bigger. And just so you know, it's already bigger, all right? We're just gonna report on what you're seeing in the news right now. Freddie Mac notified Seller Services that it would be suspending certain businesses involving Meridian late last week as a full investigation was launched. Full details of the investigation were not immediately clear, but as one of the biggest commercial mortgage brokerages in the United States with a robust portfolio of agency multifamily originations, there could be far-reaching impacts for the industry. After all, in 2022, Meridian took the crown for the most Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae originations through lenders for the 7th year running. So this is a massive whale of a company, okay? This is a big hit. One source said, depending on the findings, buybacks could occur if it's found that Freddie Mac loans were originated outside of the agency's criteria. So now think about that. If buybacks are forced, there are a lot of lenders that may have to buy this paper back from Freddie Mac at a massive cost. At a time where lenders are already on super thin margins, refinances and mortgage originations are at near record lows, right? They are hemorrhaging money and they are in the middle of laying off tens of thousands of people, all right? This is epic. This is what we've been waiting for, going from commercial into mortgages. Okay? Another source speaking more generally said that tweaking or manipulating loan information in order to conform with underwriting criteria, agency or otherwise, often goes unnoticed in good markets. Now, you guys know that I read these stories right alongside of you. I just saw the headline, I knew what it was about. But this is what I was explaining at the beginning of the video. That for years, because of payoffs, bribes, and just, hey, this is how we do business. This is what happened in 2006. It came out later that, oh yeah, you know, Freddie and Fannie, they'd been seeing this stuff happen. You know, the AAA paper or AA paper was really triple B or double B, maybe it's B rated paper, because of the credit worthiness or the loan to income ratios, or certain things were fudged in order to just get them in there. Sell that paper to the government. That's what these banks were doing. And then after a while, it's like, oh yeah, we knew it was going crazy. That's exactly what's happening here. But the first investigation has been launched. This is the beginning of the mortgage-backed security crisis, the crash. And lending is about to go to nothing. That is why you have to be prepared now, because you don't have time. You know, even if you got 6 months or a year, I'm telling you, you need your balance sheet prepared. You need your credit score prepared. There's certain things that you need to be able to identify in a real estate crash way before the nation does, so that you have the unfair advantage. You want the unfair advantage? 80% off, links are below. I'm telling you right now, we have to be prepared for this. And it takes work, it's hard work, it takes costs, it takes a lot to get ready for this. But I'm telling you, this crash is going to be so epic that you are going to be begging for a second opportunity. You will have wished that you had an extra year or two to get ready for this. I cannot make this stuff up. So it says it right here. Tweaking or manipulating loan information in order to conform to underwriting criteria, agency or otherwise, often goes unnoticed in good markets, but then comes to the forefront at times of dislocation. That is right now. And I'm telling you, this investigation is going to blow up in 1 quarter. 1 quarter. In the Q1 of 2024, you watch, we will be reporting it here along with a slew of other economic data that is imploding. It says, but they added that any sign of bad information in originations could spark a full investigation of a firm. That is coming as well. Meridian, here's a quote, Meridian is committed to compliance with industry standards and best practices. This is a spokesperson for Meridian said in a statement. We value the long-standing trusted relationship we have built with our customers, agency, lenders, and other partners, and continue to work with our clients to meet their real estate brokerage goals. This is covering their butt, and that is what every company says in the beginning. Freddie Mac did not immediately respond to request for a comment. Go figure. Meridian is being placed, and the next story concretes what's going on with Meridian right now. Meridian being placed on a hold comes as the firm has looked to streamline its operations in markets like Queens, where it hired investment sales veteran Thomas Donovan to bring in more deals. The new hire came on the heels of an announcement in April that Meridian would be laying off 5% of its staff due to economic conditions, mostly from the debt and investment sales team and its head of public relations at the time. Check out the next story. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. In 2006, 2007, we watched CEOs bailing from companies and selling their stock right before the crash. We just did a story about Jamie Dimon, how he has sold JP Morgan stock, is selling JP Morgan stock for the first time in history. Okay? First time in his tenure. We are going down. The only question is, are you choosing to go down, or are you choosing to elevate yourself financially during this crash? I hope you do. Here's the story out of The Real Deal. Former Freddie Mac CEO distances himself from Meridian Capital. David Brinkman stepped down as the executive chairman from Ralph Hersika's firm. Now, this was the former Freddie Mac CEO. The former Freddie Mac CEO, think about this, the ties to these companies. This is why bad things happen for a while. See, because think about it, the former Freddie Mac CEO was the chairman of this company. Chairman. He knows everybody at Freddie Mac. They want to get deals through. They want to all get rich. These are the people people will be screaming, you should put these people in prison. They don't go to prison. But they cause crazy things to happen in the markets, massive fluctuations in real estate markets. And guess what? They got friends at these real estate downturn funds at BlackRock. They know it's coming. That's why the Fed say we're going to keep rates higher for longer. They want this maximum pain. This is the next wave. This is the final wave of the real estate crisis before we move into massive foreclosures, forbearance, and all kinds of other ways to pick up properties for pennies on the dollar. Check this out. It says David Brinkman has vacated his role as executive chairman of Meridian Capital Group, which is under investigation by Freddie Mac, where he previously served as CEO. He needs to, because the ties between him, this Freddie Mac ties, and this company Meridian is going to go very noticed, especially as channels like this, and even my buddy Jack at Nobody Special Finance. I got to give him another shout out. He's great. And it's important to give credit where credit is due in this world, all right? There's so many people that are afraid of helping others and giving credit to other people because they're not going to grow. That's actually the opposite of how you grow. When you help other people, you blow up. That's just the truth. Sorry, I digress. It says here, Brinkman joined Ralph Hersica's Meridian in 2021 to help launch the firm's lending affiliate, New Point Real Estate. But the mortgage executive has walked away and scrubbed mentions of his involvement with Meridian on several online profiles. He is scrubbing. He knows how big of a deal this is. He's backpedaling. We're talking about the ex-CEO of, they can't make this up, the ex-CEO. I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited, of Freddie Mac. Oh. Says a spokesperson for New Point confirmed Brinkman is no longer executive chairman and said it was a long-planned change. That's a lie. Long-planned change that was recently formalized, but declined to elaborate on the exact timing. On Friday, Freddie Mac informed its leading servicers, its lending servicers, that the agency had placed a ban on originations doing deals through Meridian as it investigates issues surrounding a loan. A loan. I'm telling you right now, it's not a loan. It's not a broker. It's many loans and many brokers. Type 1 if you understand and you agree with this. This is the beginning of what you've been waiting for. I can't wait to send out an email to all my students. Like, look at it. Like, this is the stuff that I talked about in these different cycles in the real estate crash plan, how you can get ready. And then you see it in the news, like, Ninja knew what he's talking about. Okay, now this is the next step we need to do. Now this is the next step we need to do. And we boom, 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 systematically. And we are going to take down this entire thing. And we are going to make money from this because their plan is that they make all the money. My plan is that you make all the money. 1 million people making $1 million in this crash. That is my goal. I am going to hit that goal because of you. Thank you to everybody that's hit the subscribe button on this channel. This channel is blowing up because of you. As the other one's dormant because of what's going on with social media, we are going to absolutely crush this market as it gets crushed. It says here, going a little deeper, a spokesperson for Meridian declined to comment on the change in Brinkman's job status. Sources close to, when you're scrubbing all of your social media stuff, it's bad. Sources close to both companies said that practically speaking, Brinkman never really did anything at Meridian as an executive chairman. See, they're like, he didn't do anything. He didn't tell us what to do. He didn't tell us we could do this. Like, they are on both sides. Everyone distance, shut up. Crap, the Ninja's gonna talk about it. The title was given to him as he worked to launch New Point, but he never performed any of the advisory or oversight roles at Hersica's brokerage that are typically done by executive chairs. Still, the timeline of the change is curious and poses a possibility that Brinkman moved to distance himself from Meridian as Freddie began investigating the firm. Brinkman had a profile page on Meridian's website listing him as executive chairman as recently as August 6. According to the last time the site was captured on the Wayback Machine. It's crazy when you got to go to the internet time machine to go and look back at this stuff because he gets wiped off the internet. It makes for an awkward situation for Brinkman, who spent more than 20 years at Freddie Mac and was credited with developing one of the agency's most innovative and successful financial programs. Brinkman rose to the ranks of the quasi-governmental agency. That's another thing. The incestuous relationship between government and banks. It's because the Federal Reserve has its ties into our government. Freddie Mac and its sister agency Fannie Mae had long gripped about being under conservationship, blanking out, by the federal government since the global financial crisis and after the Trump administration's efforts to end Washington's ownership of the agencies sputtered out. Just going to leave that one on the table. Brinkman announced he would leave Freddie in 2020. I'm telling you right now, if you're not ready for this crash, type 2 if you wish you would have had that edge. If you want that edge, it's right down below. It's the only course where you're going to figure out right now how to prepare for this. It's going to get you back to the basics. Some people have never been to the basics. There are people that are pining for a house right now. I'm telling you what, your time is coming. It's coming in the next couple of years. Get ready. It's going to be awesome. But if you're not ready for this, you are going to miss out because none of these banks are going to loan to you. And you need to be ready in a way that the banks will loan to you. They'll be begging to give you money for houses. Trust me. And for everyone that thinks that the government's just going to take over and buy up all the houses, there's so many houses, a lot of these institutions are going to go under when this happens. And I'm telling you, this next cycle in our country's leadership history, for lack of better terms, I have to do this on purpose, is going to show that there are a lot of opportunities, but only for those that have their credit scores ready, the right amount of money setting off the side, and the right mindset, and the ability to go and source these properties. This is very serious. 80% off links down below. This will only be running through the end of the year, and then I've done a full year trying to help people at these prices. And the prices are changing because I'm looking for a different type of more serious person. We're gonna laser focus in on super dedicated people ready to make money from this. Hope you guys have a great day. The Economic Ninja, Real Estate Ninja, new channel. Hit the subscribe button. Is out.